Did I have something else planned to talk about on social media today? Yes, I did. Did I think that this was more important? Especially on the first day of Eating Disorder Awareness Week? Yes, also true. If you have been living in a state of not being aware of the Medical Assistance in Dying Act and its expansion and encroachment and scope creep out into things like mental illness, then let this be your first notification that that was what was going on. And this was going to be implemented in March of 2024. Guess who that included? People with anorexia. So the same governments that think that they care about mental health also want to euthanize people with mental health struggles instead of believing that they can get better. Now, I actually think that the right to die is something that people should have when they are of a sound state of mind and under the circumstance of having a terminal, incurable, deadly illness. None of those things apply to people who are suffering with anorexia. Number one, because they can get better. And if you don't believe that, you should not be in the mental health space, period. And number two, they are not of sound mind when they're suffering from anorexia, because guess what happens to your cognition when you're not feeding yourself? Not good things. Now, the timing is interesting because I actually have an episode with my therapist Lakshmi talking about this very thing, and it's coming out next week. But there were a couple of reasons that when I first heard about this policy last summer, I burst into tears. The first reason is that it broke my heart that people who are already suffering and struggling and feeling hopeless are now being encouraged to end their lives when they could be encouraged to recover. And the second is that not so very long ago, this would have been offered to me. It has been suggested to me in the past, in the depths of my eating disorder, that perhaps this was just something that I was going to need to get comfortable with and sort of manage. Now, lucky for me, I had other resources that actually believed that I could get better, and rightly so. And more importantly, I believed that I could get better. So what is the message then that we're sending people who are already struggling and desperately looking for hope? This delay of deciding this is the least that we could be doing right now. In regards to this, the least we can do is delay until we have a little bit more of a sensible conversation around this. So happy first day of Eating Disorder Awareness Week from one recovered person who believes that you can recover too. No matter what the statistics say, no matter what certain so-called professionals are saying, you absolutely can do this. And I wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. I love you. Keep going. There is another side, and it is infinitely better than you can possibly imagine.